Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So as you can see, today we are doing something a little bit different than we've ever really done on the channel, and that is we are actually at the gym and we are going to run through a typical workout that you'll see guys in Army Special Forces or Special Operations do. All right, the purpose of this video is to kind of share with you guys a bunch of different things. All right, one, the programming that I actually use to maintain my fitness, all right? The equipment I use, the supplements that I use that I personally prefer, and then to kind of just talk to you guys about methodologies around tactical fitness, okay? Again, tactical fitness, if you don't know what that is, there's a bunch of different names for it, all right? Tactical fitness, hybrid athlete, performance-based fitness, they're all sort of the same thing, okay? And in the special operations world, for the job we have to do, we have to have a very specific level and type of fitness, all right? And I'll explain that first, sort of before we jump into everything, okay? So for what we do, especially if we're going into combat, right? I'm carrying probably 100 pounds on my body. All right, I'm going out for 10, 24, 48 hours at a time, keeping it on the whole time, moving distances of 10, 20 kilometers on foot, okay? Potentially, if my buddy becomes a casualty, he gets shot, he goes down, I have to be able to recover his unconscious body off the ground, out of a fatal funnel, right? Carry him to safety. So what does that mean? I have to be very strong. I have to have incredible, both anaerobic endurance and aerobic endurance, okay? There's a difference between the two. Anaerobic endurance being that my actual muscle endurance, think of it how fast my body can process out the lactic acid, okay? The amount of volume my muscles can handle has to be incredibly high. And I also have to have very, very good cardiovascular fitness as well, okay? You have to have them all, right? So this is not bodybuilding, this is not powerlifting, okay? This is not marathon running. Kind of think of it as I have to be good at all of those things, all right? So no knock on any of those types of fitness. If that's what you're into, that's fine, but you're not training for performance if you strictly are doing any one of the three of those, okay? So, yeah, let's talk about first programming. What programming we're gonna do we use? Obviously, as you guys know, I'm partnered with Modern Athlete Strength, so we're using their program, okay? It's awesome. It's specifically designed for tactical athlete, performance-based fitness, but there's also a bunch of different variants that you can do depending on what your goals are, right? You could, if you're looking for more of an aesthetic, right? You wanna put on more strength, more size, there's programs for that. You're a bigger guy who's trying to lose weight, increase your cardio abilities, there's variations of the program to that. I think it's the best programming out there for the best price for a performance-based athlete, okay? You don't need to spend hundreds to thousands of dollars on some Instagram fitness coach that's gonna basically bullshit you, okay? There's a lot of that out there. Now, I'll actually just put it up on the screen, I have it on my little whiteboard, but this is the actual app itself, and this is the workout that we're gonna be doing today. And as we go through the workout, I'm gonna talk to you guys about form, about why we do the volume being how many sets, how many reps, things like that, weight, stuff like that, okay? Now, I get asked a lot about supplements, all right? I'm actually not a big supplement guy. I try to get as much of my nutrition naturally from regular food sources as I can. However, what I do use and have used for the last 20 years and swear by is creatine, okay? So what creatine do I use? Right here, okay? A company called Tasty Gains, all right? These are actually gummy creatine, all right? So you don't have to, those of you who take a lot of creatine know, you got the gritty, tastes like shit. You gotta chug a bunch of water with it. You just gotta suck it down to get over with. It's annoying, it's hard to remember to do. These, not only are they super convenient, as you guys can see, they're kind of like, almost like Sour Patch Kids. They're also delicious, all right? Pineapple, probably my favorite flavor. We've got blue raspberry, all sorts of different flavors, okay? There's a lot of bad information stemming from 20 years ago about creatine, okay? Creatine's not some steroid. Creatine is probably the safest supplement possible in the fitness world, all right? Tasty Gains, what I like about them, they've already had their product past all the third-party testing, unlike a lot of the fitness nutrition companies out there, and The great thing about creatine is it does a lot of different things for you, okay? It's gonna drastically improve your endurance levels, and like we said, in a tactical realm, my endurance in both anaerobic and aerobic capacity has to be sky high, okay? I would highly suggest you get on creatine for that reason. Not only that, it's gonna increase my performance and my recovery. And again, when I'm doing crazy hybrid athlete, tactical athlete stuff, I'm gonna need to really be tuned into my recovery. It's extremely important, okay? So what I would suggest, if you guys get yourself a bottle of Tasty Gains gummies, try it out, get on creatine, I guarantee you it is gonna be a massive boost to your fitness goals. And not only that, creatine's safe for like everybody, okay? It's good for men, it's good for women, teenagers, everybody, okay? So I'll put a link in the description for the Tasty Gains gummies. You guys should go check them out, all right? They also, like I said, they're super good. I could eat a whole bottle of those just in one sitting just because they taste like candy, all right? Now, equipment. Now, again, you guys know on the channel, sponsorships and stuff like that, I do not sponsor anything that I don't personally use or believe in, okay? Now, unfortunately for me, the equipment I use, all of it is from Gym Reapers. I'm sure you guys have seen their stuff on Instagram. Awesome company, I love their stuff. Got the knee sleeves on, you guys will see this. But they don't sponsor me. So, you know, Gym Reapers, if you see this video, hit me up. I'm all about it, right? Anyway, guys. For equipment, you know, you'll have a lot of people say, you see I got weightlifting belts here, I got knee sleeves on, I got wraps, I got everything, all right? I'm almost 40 years old, 10 major invasive surgeries, 4 knee surgeries, 2 back surgeries, 2 major shoulder reconstructions. I'm not here to impress anybody, I'm here to take care of my body. So yes, I firmly believe in using equipment, okay, to upkeep your health during fitness. Now, the only thing I don't use, obviously, is gloves because I like actually having tough industrial hands, okay? So that's the only thing you'll never see me use. But with that, guys, as you'll see on the app, I'll show you, there's big dynamic workouts to go through it, or warm-ups to go through this. I've already done those. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna jump right into the lifting and talk about it, right? First thing that we got up is our deadlifts, okay? I see all over Instagram in the fitness world, bodybuilding world, that deadlifts are terrible for you and squats are terrible for you. Okay, first of all, every Olympic athlete, every professional football player, every tactical athlete you ever see is going to do compound lifts, and a ton of them. Deadlifts, squats, they are the best exercises by far for performance for a tactical athlete, okay? The one thing you're never gonna see me personally use is machines in the gym, okay? I'm not a bodybuilder. That's not gonna do anything for me functionally. It's good for maybe putting on some size and physique. You have to be doing compound lifts, okay? Deadlifts are not dangerous if you do them correctly. Squats are not bad for your knees if you do them correctly. I know, I've got worse knees than anybody watching this video, and I'm just fine, okay? So let's go ahead and throw that misconception out the window. If you think that, it's probably because you just don't want to do them because they're hard, okay? But they're the best things for you. The great thing about deadlifts is that they're gonna build capacity in your entire body, okay? From your feet, we got a train outside, sorry guys. From your feet, your legs, your back, your core, your upper body, your upper back, everything is gonna get used. Again, sorry guys. For those who don't know, I'm currently at Chaos Strength and Conditioning. It's a gym right down the street from my house in Oregon. And so if you are in that area, you should check it out. We've got a great community, great gym. Head on down. Now, again, where was I? Goddamn train, right? Perfect timing. Now, with deadlifts, all right, we're gonna talk a little bit about form as I get into this. All right, as you see in the rep scheme, we're doing 6 sets, right? So, as I talked about, volume in tactical athlete has to be high, the number of sets, the number of reps. This is more of a strength building rep scheme in that our reps are low, 3 to 5 reps. This would be to build strength capacity more so than anaerobic conditioning capacity, okay? Which you're gonna do both, but strictly what we're doing here is to build our strength, right? So, so you guys know, I'm about 5 weeks off of a torn groin and a torn abductor. So we're gonna be going very, very light for me today as we work through this, all right? So first thing I like to do is before I even start my 6 by sets, I'm gonna do 1 to 2 workup sets to get to the weight I want to do, okay? I always start with probably about 135. First set, knock out 10, just get the body warmed up, body going, all right? With deadlifts, we'll just quickly talk about form, all right? You will never see me do a sumo deadlift ever in my life. Why? Because I live for performance, okay? Not for whatever they're supposed to do for it, all right? Now, for me, when I'm doing deadlifts, my feet are going to be basically in the same position as if I were to need to jump, if I were to move either direction, okay? Athletic base stance. That's where I want to do my deadlifts from. So my legs are actually going to be close together. Why? How athletic is putting my legs this far together and trying to jump, trying to move, trying to do things? It's not going to do anything for you guys, okay? We're lifting for performance, right? So feet, I would say a little bit inside shoulder width together, depends on your body, right at shoulder width. Come down, I'm going to keep my back completely flat and upright, head up, hinge at the waist, pull, step, all right? Step. Start repping those out. All right, I'm gonna throw on some heavy weight. All right guys, for me, let's say hit about 225 on my deadlifts. I'm gonna put my belt on. All right, again, a lot of back surgeries. It is what it is, okay? So, again, still my warm-up phase. Knocking out, you know, maybe 10 of these. Again, just getting the body loose. All right, same thing. Feet shoulder width apart, athletic stance. Come down, start my lifts. All right, throw on some more weight. Get to our actual working weight. All right, so move up to my working weight, okay? Again, I'm gonna keep it light today. For me, reps of 5, this would be, you know, considered pretty light. Everybody's gonna be different. You're at your own strengths, that's fine, all right? So also wanna talk about rest. Okay, for me, when I'm lifting, I try to keep everything at extremely minimal rest, okay? Because again, I'm trying to increase that anaerobic capacity, all right? If I were to do my set of 5 and then wait 5 minutes and go again, that's gonna do nothing for my anaerobic endurance, all right? It's not gonna do anything for helping develop the ability for my body to flush that lactic acid faster. Nothing like that is good, all right? So try to keep, especially with these big compound lifts, if I can, a minute rest or less, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I might be even doing less than that, okay? So, and also, I'll sort of tell you guys some stories from combat in between these sets to give you an idea of how these things translate to real world combat scenarios, okay? So, I'm gonna do my first set here. Again, sometimes I like to use wraps on deadlifts, right? One, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you're not gonna build your grip strength. Okay, there's a lot of different things I do grip strength for. Farmer's carries, a bunch of different stuff. For this specifically, I'm trying to work specific parts of my body. Legs, back, upper back, right? I'm not concerned about my wrist strength right now. I would rather have the ability to pull that weight, more weight than I possibly maybe could have, because again, if my fingers and wrists are giving out before my big muscles, it's not doing me any good. All right, so jump in, do our first set of 5. All right, so quick story. I'll be talking to you guys while I'm like out of breath the entire time, so bear with me. But again, I'm a little out of shape right now because again, 5 weeks off of a pretty major injury. So this is really me getting back into lifting. All right, so deadlifts, something like this, 315 pounds. All right, keep in mind, like I said earlier, when I'm in a combat operation, when I'm in full kit, 100 plus pounds, okay, me, I'm about 240 pounds, all right? What does that mean? In kit, I'm 340 pounds. This is called a dead lift, All right, dead weight. What else is dead weight? An unconscious soldier on the ground. I've had this happen on my own ODA. We got in a near ambush. 3 of my teammates got hit by grenades. One of those teammates was one of our biggest guys, probably about 265 pounds, had about 120 pounds of kit on, hit by a grenade, knocked into a ditch, completely unconscious. Our 18 Delta had to lift him out of that ditch, unconscious, and carry his unconscious body to safety after being hit by a grenade himself. All right, he's also probably the biggest, strongest guy on our team, thank God, who was there, who was able to do this. He could deadlift like 600 pounds. But if he was someone who could not even deadlift 315 pounds, my buddy he would have died, okay? So his ability to be that strong in this type of work, in this type of exercise, saved our teammate's life, okay? So it matters, right? Things like this matter, okay? In the real world, all right? Jump back in, next out, next 5. Mark these off as I go. All right, might speed these up, move past. Video isn't 3 hours long. All right, now, again, another thing, why we keep this volume high is it's great if I can carry my buddy one time 20 meters, all right? But in that same mission, we took so many casualties throughout the entire mission that we ended up having to emergency exfil off the objective. So all these casualties had to get carried maybe 800, maybe 1,600 meters to a big open hill for the helicopters to get into, get us out of there. Through arduous terrain, right? Wearing 100 pounds of kit on ourselves, pretty nasty stuff. So I didn't have the cardiovascular capability or the anaerobic ability. There's no way we could have got those guys out, okay? So again, performance-based fitness, right? So again, we're not being super strict on our rest right now because I'm talking to the camera. Figure that's around a minute. Jump back in. You see the rep scheme that we put up. Now we're going to drop down 3 reps. Typically, what I would be doing, increasing the weight. All right, but again, dealing with an injury, we got to be smart. And the great thing about this programming, it's like I mentioned, that it's highly flexible. Coaches can work with you. If you're trying to get your cardio up, you got a program for that. Strength up, programs for that. Anything you're looking for. So I'm gonna keep the weight where it's at. Again, not trying to re-injure myself. Been doing that my entire life, but it is what it is. Actually, just to save some time in the video, right? We'll probably quickly show these real quick clips, knock the necessary sets out, and then move into our next exercise, box squats. We'll talk about that. All right, guys. All right, so as you guys saw, I kind of cheated. Did, you know, supposed to have 3 sets of 3 on deadlifts. Did all 9 at once. Just to brevity's sake, move on past the video. You guys get the point. Deadlifts. Right now, I'm moving into box squats. Variation of a squat. I like box squats because they allow us again to work out of a power position. Okay, you can come down, get a little bit of pause down that deep squat, and explode out of it. All right, again, looking for performance, looking for power, looking for speed. All right, this is what the box squat is very good for. Now with these, again, with the groin tear, abductor tear, squats aggravate that a little bit more. So we're gonna go very, very light on these today. Nice 2 sets of 8. And again, we're already warmed up from all those deadlifts, so we're good to go. All right, show you a little bit of form and what you're gonna do for a box squat. All right. Come out, come down, in that nice seated position, explode out. All right, so forgot to put my belt on for that. It's all right, I'm not going very heavy, but I do like lifting belt, especially on squats. Helps stabilize that core, okay? Especially for someone like me, degenerative disc disease, impacted L4s, L5s. I think it helps quite a bit. All right, so jump in, knock our last set out. And we're gonna move into, we got dumbbell rows, okay? And what you're gonna see in these workouts is almost all these workouts incorporate full body in some sense almost every day. All right, again, I'm not here to bodybuild, okay? I'm not doing a typical, I lift legs one day, I lift chest one day, I lift back one day, I lift arms and shoulders one day. It's not how we do it, okay? I get asked this too sometimes about recovery. Somebody asks, how do you work out 7 days a week? Aren't you supposed to take 2 days off? All right, your body is designed to move, guys. There's a lot of, had a physical therapist used to love to say, motion is the lotion, right? You do not need 48 hours of complete sedentary rest to recover from lifting, okay? You should, if you are getting adequate sleep on a daily basis, adequate nutrition on a daily basis, taking your creatine, right? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna recover. You can push your body infinitely farther than you possibly think you can, okay? Now, that doesn't mean go stupid with it and do crazy full body workouts every single day. No. One of those days, right, which you could say rest day, could be an active recovery day, right? 30 minutes of active stretching, an hour of yoga, okay? That's getting your body moving, right? So think of it that way. I almost never in the last 20 years, unless I'm traveling or literally can't, not doing some type of exercising 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Again, yes, I've had a lot of injuries, but those aren't from dumb lifting. Those are from combat. Those are from military free fall jumps. Those are from doing special forces activities and stuff like that. All right, so let's knock out this last set, move into our rows. All right, I forgot to count, so that was an 8, my bad. Another thing, if you saw my feet, okay, I still have that same athletic shoulder weight stance. Maybe a little bit more extended than deadlifts, but again, I see guys out here squatting like this, legs pointed out, toes pointed this way, coming down. In what world am I doing anything athletic like this, guys? Like, that's not a thing, okay? So think about that while you're lifting. Do it in a functional way. All right, next, we'll jump into our next exercise. All right, so next exercise, dumbbell rows. Again, working the back, okay? Back muscles, leg muscles, two most important muscles for performance-based fitness. Yes, the biceps are nice to have, look good on the beach, but you're talking about performance, lifting heavy weights, you know, going long distances, carrying a super heavy rucksack, 100 pounds of gear. You need these big, strong upper back muscles, especially if you're planning on going special forces qualification course or getting into the Q course. Rob and Sage, they carried a 137-pound rucksack, all right? If you don't have big, strong chaps, upper back, it's gonna be painful. All right, guys, so here, 3 sets of 6, okay? This would be fairly challenging weight, okay? So grabbed 70 here. Probably could do more than that, but point of the video, okay? Nice, clean, good repetition. All right, 3 sets. Start here. Get that full extension all the way to the bottom. Coming all the way up. Switch your sides. Now, talking more about tactical fitness, special forces qualification course, things like that, right? If you think about the level of volume, special forces assessment and selection, I like to explain it like this, okay? 19 days long, you're gonna get 4 hours of sleep, 2 MREs a day, it's about 1,400 calories a day, and you're gonna do basically what equates to a half marathon every single day for 18 days with a 55-pound rucksack on your back, okay? Averaging, let's just say. And then on day 19, you're going to do a full marathon in the sand with a 55-pound rucksack on your back after all of that, okay? So think about the amount of volume, endurance, your ability to recover has to be top-notch if you want any hope of making it through that. All right, jumping in, knock out our next set. And that nice full extension all the way to the top. All right, now, I also get this comment a lot, okay? My size, about 6'3", maybe impacted a little bit from 10 years of SF of having my spine impacted, maybe a little bit less than 6'3" now. 235, 240 pounds, okay? I have people on my fitness videos all the time saying, operators, that's way too big for an operator. You should never be over 200 pounds. It's all relative, guys. Again, I'm 6'3". If I'm 240 pounds, I was about 230 when I was active in combat on the teams. Okay, I weighed 230 pounds. I could squat 585 pounds, okay, 1 rep. And I could run a 34-minute 5 mile, a 2-hour 15, 12-mile ruck, and a 12:45 2-mile run. Okay, so how's my weight a deterrent to my physical capabilities? At that size, at that strength, at that speed, at that endurance, okay? Size, strength, doesn't matter. As long as you can meet numbers like that, okay? Now, if you are 185 pounds, okay, and you can do all those things, awesome, even better. Why? That way, if you do get knocked unconscious, you don't have to have somebody haul your 400-pound kit body off an objective, okay? So that's the only part where it matters. Also, this is where I talk about, we want women in combat so bad. That's not the point of this video. How many women do you know can deadlift close to 400 pounds and then actively carry that 400 pounds 400 meters? If you're a woman that can do that, send me a video of that and I'll say, goddamn, you're ready. Otherwise, you know, most men can't do that, okay? Last set, knocking her down. All right, with that, we're gonna jump in to our last lifting exercise for the day, which is gonna be my least favorite, but again, amazing performance base, that is gonna be sandbag lifts. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so yeah guys, I hate sandbags, okay? They're awkward, they suck to do, they're hard. Got a 75-pound bag here, I'm gonna go very light, because again, this one actually, again, that abductor, tore my groin all the way through up here, all the way up into my lower abductor, okay? But we're working our way through it, okay? So we're doing 3 sets of 4, talk about technique that I think will help you guys as you move into heavier sandbags, okay? What I like to think about is getting that sandbag up to my quads, sort of taking a seat in it, and then rolling it up to my shoulder to get it up over the top, okay? Like something sort of like this. All right. Get underneath it. Again, this is light, but I get it to my quads here, and I can help roll it over and back down. All right, for brevity's sake, I'm gonna take minimal rest on these as we just knock these out so we can get into our HIIT zone, or HIIT cardio. Okay, we'll talk about different kinds of cardio that we might do, all right? So, go straight into it. Guys, I like to rotate shoulders, right? Keep that bilateral strength on each side of the body. All right. Again, what does this type of stuff be good for? Picking heavy shit up off the ground, getting up onto your shoulders so that you may carry it somewhere else. Some practical things for this, okay, in your everyday lives. What happens if you're out camping, your wife breaks her leg, or you're out on a hike, middle of nowhere, your wife breaks her leg. You strong enough, pick her up off the ground, get her over your shoulder, carry her a mile, carry her 2 miles? I am. Ask yourself, are you? You got teenage kids, same thing happens. You strong enough to do that? You endurance enough to do that? I was thinking, yes, tactical fitness is great for the combat capacity. I always think of things in my day-to-day life, right? Am I strong enough, big enough to fend off an attacker to protect my wife and kids, right? Am I big enough, strong enough, if I live in a downtown metro area and they decide to burn the cities down again, my wife gets injured, am I big enough, strong enough, get her, carry her, get her to safety 10 blocks away? Ask yourself, are you? If the answer is no, you should probably get RN programming, okay? And it's the easy button. As you saw by the app, it's all there. Show up to the gym, do the workout. Okay, keep going. All right, guys, let's jump into our cardio. All right, guys, so this is not a workout for the day, but the assault bike is probably my favorite cardio tool, all right? If you haven't used this thing before, it sucks, okay? One of my favorite ways to approach using an assault bike and a lot of different cardio, okay, if I'm trying to sort of, you know, hammer up my short-term endurance, sprinting, things like that, is high interval training, okay? It's also one of the best ways for fat loss too, right? And high interval training is very good because it kind of crosses over into that anaerobic endurance, right? So you're using a lot of power, short amount of time, a little bit different than low zone 2 cardio, okay? Like jogging and things like that, although both are important. So what I like to do on a assault bike, there's different intervals you can do. Some people use a 20-second on, 10-second off, good way to do it. I personally like doing a minute on, a minute off. So I go super hard for a minute, and then I take a minute rest, all right? And again, cardio, very, very important, guys. I know nobody likes to do it, okay? But again, if you're a bodybuilder, you can look fantastic, 8-pack shredded on a beach. You couldn't last probably 20 minutes at Special Forces assessment and selection. No knock on the bodybuilders out there, but that's the reality, okay? Cardio is super important. But I will say aesthetically, I still do think, right? Performance-based athletes, tactical-based athletes, you can still have a great physique doing these types of things too, okay? So again, what we'll do, just get going, right? Typically, I would do about 5 minutes of warm up to where I just kind of slow, get that body warmed up, but we're pretty warmed up for the day, all right? So again, I got about 30 seconds of my first warm up minute, and then we'll jump in, all right? Again, talking about from a performance standpoint, I like to think of it in this way, okay? You're at the beach, your kids, you know, maybe they're 10, 11 years old, they're pretty far out in the ocean, okay, having a great time, and boom, sneaker wave comes in, pulls them out. They're not strong enough to swim back in. Are you in good enough shape to sprint 200 meters on the beach, get into the water, swim out to your kid, get them, swim with them back to shore to save their life? Ask yourself that, are you? If you're not, you might want to get there. All right, so we jump in, let me go hard for a minute. First, usually 2-3 rounds, not too bad. Third, fourth, fifth round, super taxing. Then rest, take your 60 seconds, and repeat. So I like to do that for about 20 minutes. Again, this is just one of different types of cardio, HIIT training that you can do, supplement your workouts, okay? I still suggest you get in your long zone 2 cardio, get your jogging in, your rucking, if you're preparing for SFAS, things like that. But guys, I don't think you need to watch me do the assault leg for 20 minutes. So what we're gonna do, quick recap. All right, we talked about our programming. Again, this looks interesting to you, all right? I would highly suggest you go to my link, it's in the description, it's in the pinned comment, and sign up. It's not expensive, guys. It's about the cost of a gym membership, okay? It's not some $300-400 a month plan, okay? I think there's a good deal going on right now. And again, they do all the work for you. We got multiple Green Berets as coaches, super high level Olympic lifting coaches as well. Really impressive resumes on the team, all right? So why bother wasting your time when the answers are all there for you? Get on the programming, open it up for the day. What am I doing today? Go to the gym, put in the work. You guys are gonna get in insane shape, I guarantee it. And people ask, you know, how I have the motivation and all these things. Guys, I've just been lifting been working out for, what, 20 years now, consistently, 6 days a week, 20 years straight, all right? There's no secret to it. Just be consistent, all right? It's not gonna happen overnight, but you start now, within a year, you're gonna look at pictures and be like, oh my God, what a massive transition. And again, guys, like, have some respect for yourself. right? I see all these guys, married, kids, out of shape, guts, let themselves go, all the excuses in the world. I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that. Guys, I'm doing a full-time master's degree program, wife, 2 kids, run a firearms instructor business on the weekends. I work 7 days a week, okay? Plus the YouTube channel, plus the social media, right? I never miss a workout. You're not going to convince me that you have an excuse of why you can't work out. You know you can. Wake up 2 hours earlier, right? We all have time. So don't lie to yourself. Take this as the motivation. Start, okay? And again, you don't know what to do? Sign up for the program. It's the easy button, guys. I'm there, I'm doing the workouts. It's awesome, coaches are there. There's chat functions, discussion boards. You can talk to the coaches anytime you want. You need specific catering to training, they're there for that. Let's go, guys. Remember, your supplements too. If anything, go grab yourself some tasty Gains gummies. And again, got creatine. It's gonna be amazing for you. All right, guys, so this one was obviously pretty long. If you guys like this type of content, we'll probably do some more, all right? So you guys take care, and we'll finish up this workout.